All right. Recently, I ran the Zion National Park Half Marathon in Utah. What a great race. What a scenic race. A lot of elevation. It's 5,000 elevation. For me, I'm a Florida boy. That's a lot. This race happened on February 28th, so the weather could be snowing or it can be pretty nice out. On this day, it was actually around 40 degrees, so it was quite pleasant. But I'm going to go over my race day experience, and maybe it's something that you would like to do. But let's get into it. First off, we flew in to Las Vegas. It was not only cheaper, but we wanted to do more of the scenic stuff of visiting Las Vegas for a little bit. But on the way over to Utah, we wanted to stop at a few sightseeing places like Firewave National Park. But from Vegas to Utah, it was a 2.5-hour drive. It was so simple, stress-free, hardly any traffic. There is a closer airport, but it does cost a lot more. It's just a very small airport. So we decided to fly into Vegas, rent a car, and drove over. Flawless. Getting into the town of Zion, it's a very small town, but very nice. A couple of little restaurants here and there, coffee shops, a couple hotels, and the ending of the race ends at the entrance of the Zion National Park. So what they do is they actually bus you to the start and then you run back to the finish. And the finish is in this town. So if you're staying close by to the entrance of the Zion National Park or just in that area, you'll be able to walk from the finish line back to your hotel. Pack a pickup, super simple. It was kind of like a small race day feel where it was very easy, not like a big convention center expo that you would see in like Boston or New York or wherever, Orlando. So it was really nice, super casual, got really nice shirts, and I think it really shows the race day vibe just in the logo, because everybody was so friendly, so supportive. It was really a good feel. We stayed in the town of Zion. Right across the street from us, they picked us up race day morning to take us to the race. Again, they bus you to the start and you run back. So it was nice to be right across the street from the buses. There was really no stress on getting a bus. We were obviously there early. I wanted to get there early so I can warm up. So we were in the bus line at least an hour early. Really, it wasn't much of a wait. The bus ride over is nice. Obviously race day morning, everybody's joking around or tense, and you're ready to get out of that bus and go. So they bussed us up to a nice area in the national park surrounded by the mountains. Absolutely gorgeous. Sun was starting to come up. They offload you into a field. There's like a big field. Obviously it's cold in the morning, probably in the 30s around this time, but luckily they had these huge heat lanterns out for everybody to kind of stand under if you weren't warming up, and they had a lot of them, so you were able to get comfortable to wait. I was trying to do some loops around in the field just to get kind of warmed up, get my body moving, even though I was cold. But also they had hot coffee there, they had water for you, and also some sports gels. I actually took some Vaseline because I didn't remember to take Vaseline with me, so they had some there, thankfully I was able to use. But the starting of the race, it kind of had that small race day feel, even though there was a lot of people. A guy got on the microphone and was like, "Okay, runners, time to go to the starting corral." So everybody just kind of walked up to the road and started to wait around. They had a DJ going, they had a guy on a microphone trying to get everybody hyped up, but it was the most peaceful yet beautiful moment of the race, because I'm standing up there. I'm in the corral near the front, and everybody was super friendly. And sometimes in some of these races, people can be very tense. Sorry about that on my phone, but people can be very tense. I'm more of a chatty guy, like in the starting corral, like giving high fives and everything, and that's exactly how it was to begin the race. I thought it was so cool. People were chatting it up. Oh, look how beautiful this place is. High five. Where are you from? It was just nice. It was a nice, relaxing race day start. Actually, got a picture. I had ASICS Metaspeeds on, and one of the pacers was wearing ASICS, and she got a group of us together to get a picture of all our feet in the middle. I guess apparently her boyfriend worked for ASICS or whatever, but it was really cool. It was a cool experience. Starting of the race, mark, set, go, boom, we're off. Again, in a national park, 5,000 feet of elevation. You're not going to see any buildings, nothing. You are running through this. You are running through the park. It is beyond scenic. It's beyond peaceful, but it is breathtaking, some of the views. Now in this race, I forgot to mention, they do not have cups for you to take a swig of water and throw. It's a national park. There's no littering. So I had to carry my water with me the whole time. I was ready. I was prepared. They do have water stations, but you have to fill up either the bottle that they give you at the expo, this little plastic bottle, or you can bring your own, but there is no discarding of cups of any kind. So that was one thing I'm not really used to on race day, carrying my hydration. I know a lot of people are, but that was one rule. So to start, mile 1 through 6, I was really trying to, I didn't know how to keep my pace. I didn't know exactly where my fitness was, but I was trying to stay steady, maybe around a 7:15. But my own mistake, I never really looked up the elevation of this race. I just figured, man, 5,000 feet of elevation, I'm gonna be suffering. But a lot of the start was downhill. So probably through the first 6 miles, it was relatively downhill, a downhill race. I was surprised. I tried to talk to somebody coming by me and like, hey, is it all downhill? And they're like, no, but it's downhill for a bit. So it was nice. I didn't know how to keep my pace though. I didn't know what was coming. So I think my pace did dip below 7:15. Although I felt very good, I was just kind of cruising with the course. Miles 7 through 10, the elevation started to creep back up some, and that's where my pace dipped. Also, being at this elevation, I am not used to like zero humidity, nothing. So when I was taking a gel, it just felt like I threw chalk in my mouth. Like it was just a weird sensation I was having. Like my nose was dry, my mouth was super dry. It was really hard for me to take in gels in this elevation. So that affected me. I actually skipped my last gel. I didn't even want it. So again, the first half of the race was going downhill, creeping back uphill. When we got to mile 10 through 13, that's when you actually start to get into the town of Zion. That's when you'll start to see people on the side clapping. For the most part, most of the race, you were just seeing views. You're not really seeing much of anybody. A few cars. You might see 2 people on the side of the road cheering for you. It's not until you get to about mile 10, 11, when you're in the town of Zion, getting to the entrance of the national park is when you start to hear the people, the cheering. And this is also the point where it does creep up in elevation. You're going back up in elevation. So I was trying to hold on. I got passed by somebody that was they were booking it. And I congratulated them after the race because it was tough. We were both really feeling it at this point. But the last few miles are challenging. So if you ever do this race, just know the last part of this race, you are going uphill, and it does get challenging. But the ending of this race, you end in a beautiful area, entrance of the national park. They don't have any like beer or anything like that for you to drink. At least I don't remember. But it was just a nice little after party. After that, we just went and got some breakfast somewhere. I actually skipped my awards, and I didn't realize till later. I got 3rd in the Male Masters, so I was very proud about that. Actually, no, I got 2nd in the Male Masters. I don't know. I'll post my medal, but I did place in the Male Masters division, so I was very happy. So, in the end, this race, by far one of the most scenic races you can run. I told the race director afterwards, it was one of the most friendliest races I ran. Everybody was super supportive, super nice, top down. Just any questions I had, they answered. Like a hotel staff, everybody super kind, super friendly. So Zion National Park half marathon, yeah, I would definitely suggest it. And don't be intimidated by the elevation or the weather. All right, keep charging on.